In 2025, it's never been easier to make $50,000 per month as a creator while only working a few hours per day. The creator economy is going to blow past $500 billion by 2027, and recent improvements in AI make running an online business easier than it's ever been. So why does it feel so damn hard? Why does it feel like you're constantly pushing uphill, like you're working harder and harder for less and less back from your business? Why does it feel like something is just off? The truth is, the way that creators turn their time into income, their monetization model, it's fundamentally broken. They're working way too hard for too little return on their time. And that's why I've created this video. That's what I want to help you do. I want to help you fix that broken monetization model that most creators are using so that you can maximize the ROI on your time and you can get the most back, the most income, the most freedom for every minute that you put into your business. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Chin Gregory. I've been selling digital products online since 2008. And after generating millions of dollars for myself and my clients and becoming a father of four, I've really been focusing on maximizing the ROI on my time. Like that has become a major focus for me. And when I look at creators, whether it's the creators that I work with or the creators that I know or the creators that I see online, they all suffer from the same issue. They're working way too damn hard for the income and the revenue that they're generating. And I've tested every monetization model out there, from consulting to coaching to e-com, merch, affiliates, sponsorships, brand deals, partnerships with the platforms, you name it, I've tested it. And there is one monetization model that stands clear above all the others. And it's the same monetization model that top creators are using, and even some celebrities and influencers are using as well. And if I had to pick only one monetization model to maximize the ROI on my time and generate wealth for me and my family, this one stands head and shoulders above the rest. And so let's dive in. I'm going to just break down what's wrong with the current monetization models. I'm going to show you all the different examples, and I'm going to reveal what the perfect monetization model is for you to get to $50,000 per month easily as an online creator. So here's the major problem when it comes to the creator model. Most creators are monetizing with either some type of attention-based system. So you've got AdSense, where on YouTube, okay, they are getting paid pennies for their views, and you've got partner programs, Instagram or Facebook, where they're also getting paid for the views. You've got sponsorships, and sponsorships where you get paid $15 to $100 for every 1,000 views. The problem is that all of these monetization models are what we call attention-based models. And the problem with attention-based models is that they require more and more of your time and effort in order for you to get paid. And so the more you work, the actual less you get paid for every single unit that you put in. And the worst part is, you don't even own the audience that you're creating. So all that time and effort isn't building an asset that belongs to you. TikTok, right? All of those followers you get on TikTok, they don't belong to you. They belong to the platform. All those subscribers that you grow on YouTube, they're not yours. They belong to the platform. If your channel gets shut down, you don't have that asset. Instagram, all those followers, all those people, all that content, it's not yours. So you don't have any ownership over the thing that you're building. And that's the worst part of all these monetization models, is that not only are you putting in time and effort and you're not getting the maximum ROI, but you're not building up any long-term wealth. You're not building up an asset that you as the creator actually control. And when it comes to long-term financial wealth, whether it's financial assets, whether it's real estate, crypto, we all know that the key to building wealth is to build up your assets. Well, these are your digital assets. And if you're running a monetization model where you don't even own the digital asset, that's not a place that you want to be. And if that wasn't enough, now you've got AI generated creators who are flooding the platforms, increasing competition and eating into your margins even more. So on the one hand, most creators are building their business on rented land, right? They don't own the assets that they're creating. But even if they did own the assets they create, let's just say for a second that they did, the monetization model still leaves so much money on the table. Let me illustrate what I mean real quick. I'm a massive poker player. I love playing poker. And one of my good friends, he's a crypto influencer, pretty big one over here in the UK, and he hosts a poker tournament at his place every few weeks. Towards the end of last year, at one of these poker tournaments, I was there, there was a bunch of other people there, and he had a friend of his who he'd invited who runs an agency where they manage really, really big YouTube influencers and Twitch streamers. And these are people that generate billions of views online, right? So he's got like a portfolio of creators that he looks after, and creators and influencers that he looks after. And so me and him ended up being two of the last three people in the game. And obviously the conversation got towards earnings. So I started asking him, we manage all these influencers, they're making all this, they're generating all these views. How much money are these guys making? And what really shocked me is that despite the fact that they generate so many views, little old me, was making more money than all of the people that he looked after. Now, I'm not saying that to brag, right? There's marketers I know who make what I make in a year in like a week, right? But what I really found fascinating was that their entire business model was built around generating views and impressions and then trying to monetize after the fact. And Here I am with like 20,000 Instagram followers and I'm making more money than they are. These creators had incredible reach, but pretty average income, right? They were leaving a lot of money to be desired. They leave a lot of money on the table. And the question you have to ask yourself is why? Like, why is this happening? And as I mentioned, this is because their entire business was based on chasing views, not chasing customers. This is something I call the creator mindset, okay? And the difference between the creator mindset versus the marketer mindset. One of the biggest limiting beliefs that they have is that they're afraid to sell anything to their audience for fear of annoying them. So they spend all this time in their business building up an audience, building up views, building up impressions, but they never actually sell them anything. Whereas marketers, entrepreneurs, online business owners, on the other side, they build a business, sell to customers, and then the audience, the personal brand, and the impressions and the views, that just is a part of trying to sell more, right? It's just a byproduct of actually creating a business where their primary objective is to get more customers. So when you've got creators who are focusing on growing their fan base, the amount of views their videos going viral, versus marketers who are focusing on customers, income, what ultimately happens is who gets the higher ROI on their time? The marketers make a lot more money for the amount of time and effort that they put in. And so this mindset shift going from creator to market, and I don't mean that you've got to drop your entire business or ultimately change everything you're doing, but it's making a slight mindset shift where we want to start focusing more on increasing the ROI on their time. Because this is something that you're going to see me talk about all the time on this channel. It is absolutely imperative that you maximize the ROI on your time. And everything that I do is helping online business owners, creators, get the most out of their time. Because I hate to see people spend time on stuff that doesn't give them the maximum return that they want, right? Life is already too hard. Business should be easy. So my objective, what I'm really trying to do is to shift the power back to you, right? I want to help you take that audience that you've cultivated, that audience that you've grown, those fans, those followers, and take it from a vulnerable asset, which you don't even own, and turn it into something that generates income and cash for you in a predictable manner. And to do that, we have to identify the best monetization model for you. And there's lots of different options. So I'm going to break down each monetization model and show you the pros and cons of each one so we can pick the absolute best one to maximize the ROI on your time, to allow you to create as you're very good at creating already, but also to bring in income and not leave so much money on the table. So this is something that I call the Creator Profit Scorecard. And there are 6 criteria that you need for the perfect monetization model. First off, you have scalability. This is how much time and effort do you need to make more money with that model. Then you've got ROI on your time. So for every hour you invest, exactly how much return, either cash, leverage, or freedom, do you get back? Then you've got profitability. Does the model that you're using give you high margins with a predictable income? You want to know how much money you're making every single month. Asset potential. This is really important. Does today's work that you put into this model create renewable compounding financial value for you and your family tomorrow? Simplicity. Can you execute quickly with this model without complexity, friction, or overwhelm? And then ownership potential. Do you fully control your revenue, your customer relationships, and the business infrastructure? These are the 6 critical criteria that you've got to hit to get to the perfect monetization model. So let's look at some of the different monetization models and see how they stack up. First off, let's look at AdSense and partner payouts. When it comes to scalability, this has got negative scale, which means the more time and effort you put into growing it, the less money do you actually make. ROI on your time, right? You get a negative ROI time. As you invest more and more time into it, you actually earn less and less for every hour you put in. Profitability. Now, this one's pretty good in terms of margins, which are 100%, but the downside, it's very, very unpredictable. Asset potential, well, there's minimal asset gain. How simple is this model? Where you have to get to monetization criteria and then you've got to put out constant content to keep getting paid. And then finally, ownership. Well, there's no ownership, right? The platform owns all of the content. How about merchant e-com? Scalability. I own e-com businesses. I've consulted with e-com brands. It is very difficult to scale an e-commerce business. The ROI on your time is extremely time and labor intensive business. You have to put a lot of time and effort, or the team that you hire has to put in a lot of time and effort into running that business. Profitability. Now, you're looking at about 15 to 40% on e-com if you're lucky. Asset potential. Now, the good thing about e-com is that it can be a great asset if you can actually sell it. I had equity in brands that were sold to big retailers, and that's where most of the money's made. So if you can hang around long enough for an asset sale, that's where an e-com business really pays off. Simplicity, it's pretty easy to start an e-com business. You can start with drop shipping or you could start with print on demand. But again, it's very, very difficult to grow. And then finally, ownership. With this model, yeah, you and your partners have full ownership of the e-com business unless you're selling elements of it or selling equity of it to investors. All right, sponsorship, affiliate marketing. Again, it's got negative scale, which means that you have to put more and more time and effort into it if you want it to grow. ROI on your time. Well, this is very sponsor dependent and it's very dependent on your views. So some sponsors pay you a lot, some sponsors pay pay you less. Some, depending on what industry you're in, you might get some videos that do well, some videos that don't. Profitability is pretty good on this one. You've got 100% margins, and it's pretty predictable once you get a sponsor that you're working with on an ongoing basis. There's no asset potential because you don't own the products that you're marketing. It's very simple if your channel is big in terms of simplicity. Like if you've got a big channel, sponsors and affiliates will reach out to you. There's no ownership with this model because it's not your products that you are selling. Let's look at coaching and consulting. So when it comes to scaling, what most people won't tell you, and I've scaled coaching and consulting companies, right? It's very expensive and time consuming to scale. The ROI in your time is great in the beginning, but it drops over time. These are the two biggest issues about the coaching and consulting industry. And I've scaled a 7-figure coaching business. They're pretty great to start. Like they're fantastic in the beginning. But once you start trying to scale them, they require more and more of your time and resources. Profitability, it's pretty good at low levels. But again, once you start scaling, you're going to need ads, you're going to need a sales team, you're going to need coaches. And so your profit starts to drop. But it's still pretty decent, 65 to 85% profit margins. And the income is very predictable. Asset potential, again, it's niche dependent. The reason why it's niche dependent is that depending on the niche that you are in, those customers, those clients that you get, you might be able to sell them more and more stuff. There are some industries, a lot of industries, where the clients that you get, you can really only sell them coaching one time. So this is very niche dependent. Simplicity, it requires very complicated funnels to get clients, and it requires complicated delivery. With the typical coaching and consulting model, you're driving traffic to some type of VSL or webinar, you're getting people on the phone, you are going through your sales pitch, and then you're closing them to becoming a client. Once they become a client, then you have to help them either with a done with you or a done for you capacity, which requires either you or the coaches to provide them with the service. So it's pretty complicated to actually get up and running and then to keep your clients happy. Ownership, you do have full ownership with this business, right? Because the content, the IP, everything you create belongs to you. So with that being said, what is the ideal monetization model? What does the ideal monetization model look like? First off, you want to have something that's got infinite scalability so that once you've created it, if you want to generate more income, you don't have to put any more time and effort into doing so. You want something that maximizes the ROI on your time so that when you invest 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week into that business model, it compounds over time. You want to have your margins close to 100%, and you want to have the income be very predictable. You want an asset value that grows over time and you can generate wealth from it. You want something that's easy to get started and easy to continue and easy to run. And then finally, you want something that you've got full ownership. So those are the elements that you'd want in your ideal monetization model. Now, if you haven't already guessed, digital products, i.e. courses, that is the one monetization model that satisfies all the 6 criteria. You have near infinite scalability with digital courses and digital products. Because it's a digital course and there's no service delivery, you could sell 100,000 or 100 and there's no additional input of your time. It maximizes the ROI on your time because you don't need any more input to scale that business. The margins are close to 100%. Your asset value grows over time because digital products create customers, and customers are a renewable financial resource. Very easy to get started with AI. I'm going to show you how to do in another video. And you have full ownership over the course and the IP. And let's just do the math real quick, right? We want $50,000 a month. And one of the reasons why I talk about $50,000 a month and not 10K a month or 20K a month is that ultimately we are really trying to get to financial freedom, right? That's what we want to get to. And $10,000 a month is not enough unless you're like a 20-year-old living in your mom's basement and you've got no responsibilities. Most of the people that listen to my channel, most of the people that follow me, you are a parent, you've got a family, you've got people that rely on you, you have a mortgage. Because of that, $50,000 a month, that's where you got to be aiming for. It allows you to live in pretty much anywhere in the world. You can have a lovely house, 2 cars, put your kids in private school. That is where you can get real financial freedom. And at that range, you can put enough money away to save and really grow for the next generation. So let's say you're aiming $50,000 a month. With a course that's $100 to $2,000, which is the ideal price point for a digital product. In another video, I'm going to go through the specifics about pricing and how to actually build the course. Today, I'm just talking about the model. For a price point of $100 to $2,000, you only need 8 to 20 sales per day. With the audience that you currently have, getting 8 to 20 sales a day is really easy once you've got the actual model in place. It's just about switching your mindset. Rather than having a monetization model that focuses on attention, still create the content, still generate attention, but have a monetization model that focuses on customers. And when you focus on customers, 8 to 20 sales per day, that will get you to $50,000 a month. And that's very doable for most of you watching this video. And let's get real for a second, all right? It's not just about the $50,000 per month. It's more so what that number represents. When you can hit your financial freedom number, whatever that may be, I recommend 50K a month. But when you can hit your financial freedom number, then you're not going to be burning out from creating content. You're not going to be skipping dinners or hanging out with your friends or skipping the things that you love to do because you've got to put out another video. You're getting the maximum ROI in your time, which allows you to be present with the people that you love. It allows you to get so much more out of your time and energy so that you can actually give more of that back to your audience and your community. Everything starts to change once you have a monetization model that really rewards you for the time that you're putting in your business. Ultimately, it's about controlling your time versus your time controlling you. Like, if I could sum up everything about this model in one sentence, that would be it. It's control your time, control your business, and not the other way around. Don't let your time, not your business control you. And listen, I know what some of you might be thinking, like, hey, Jin, all sounds well and good, courses sound well and good, but my audience doesn't buy like that, right? My audience is not going to buy courses. In my niche, people don't buy digital products, or digital products are scamming. I've heard every objection to it. Like, I've heard people say in all different industries. The truth is, people buy courses all the time. People buy information all the time. They're just not buying it from you particularly, or they're buying it from people that you're seeing because it hasn't presented in the right way, right? What is university? University is basically just one big one big course in real life. Any type of specialization training, niche markets. I have a friend who bought one of those expensive grills, the Egg, and when he bought it, they sold him a training package where they would teach him all the best grilling techniques. Like, my daughter, I don't know why it took so long to do this, but my daughter doesn't know how to ride a bike. And there's this company down the road where you will take them and they will get your kid riding a bike in one afternoon. People buy information all the time. All we're doing for digital product or a digital course is taking that information and packaging it in a way and putting it online so that it's easy for your audience to consume. And the list of smart creators who've made the switch to digital products is endless. You've got people like Ali Abdaal, right? He started off as a doctor, then he went on to a YouTube creator. He's now got courses between $900 and $5,000. Jeremy Lynch, okay, he was an ex-football player. He then became an Instagram influencer, and now he's courses between $90 and $200. Chris Donnelly, okay, he was an agency owner, then he became one of the world's top LinkedIn creators, and now he's got a course for $5,000. And it's not just them. There are hundreds of examples of creators who've gone from purely focused on creating content to now monetizing with a digital course. I mean, this is what I do for a living. I help creators monetize their audiences with digital products. And it's not just creators as well. It's not just influencers. Loads of celebrities who are getting into the online game. How are they doing it? They're doing it not just with merch, not just with e-com, not just with sponsorship or affiliate deals. They're launching their own digital products. Mike Tyson, he had a very successful digital product launch. Floyd Mayweather's got one. Jordan Belfort, Caitlyn Jenner, Alex Jones, the list goes on. There are so many people getting into this game, and they're seeing the best way to monetize their attention, their audience, their followers, their views, their impressions is with a digital course, a digital product. Because when we looked at the 6 different criteria, nothing satisfies them best in terms of monetization as a digital product or digital course. So hopefully by now you're seeing that the advantages of having a digital product are crystal clear, right? This isn't some hack for short-term profit growth, right? No more stressing out about demonetization or algorithm changes or being on the constant hamster wheel. Once you've got your own digital product, you can funnel your attention and funnel your followers and funnel your subscribers to that product and maximize the ROI on your time by turning views, fans, and impressions into customers, sales, and income. Digital products are all about securing your financial future, right? It's not about adding more to your plate. It's about getting more from what you're already doing. And this video today, this is the first episode in a 6-part series that's going to help you go from content creator to launching and scaling your own digital course. So here's what's coming up in this series. Episode 2, all right? How to make $1 million course. Episode 3, watch me build a course in 20 minutes with AI. Then episode 4, I'm going to show you how to get paid before you even build your course. In episode 5, I'm going to show you how to get 100 buyers per day. And in episode 6, I'm going to show you how I turned a $7 ebook into $13 million. That's a pretty cool episode. So this is what we're going to be covering in the 7-part series. This is what we're going to be covering in this 6-part series. And what I want you to take away from this video is that a digital product, an online course built thoughtfully and with AI is the easiest, most efficient way for you to get to $50,000 per month as a creator. It is the best monetization model. And what I'm going to do with this series is show you how to launch and scale your own digital product. Now, next step is to watch the video that I've just put up on the screen, because that's the second video in this series. If you want any of the resources that I've talked about in the video, look below in the description for some of the instructions. If you found this video useful, go ahead, share it for friends, subscribe. There's going to be much more like it coming along. I'm not going to go on too long. I just want to wrap up and get to the next video for you so that we can continue this series. My name's Shane Gregory. God bless, take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.